welcome to this YouTube video that's going to confirm your favorite Nuzlocker, and it's going to confirm it's not me. Hi, my name is Corina Boettger. I'm a voice actor. You might recognize me as Paimon in Genshin Impact, Mizuki and I, the Somni Files, Tatsumaki in One Punch Man, yada yada yada. Point is that I decided to do a Nuzlocke, and I'd never done one before. Yeah. Now, you might be wondering, Corina, why would you choose to do a Nuzlocke when you've never done one before? Well, I was watching Games Done Quick with my husband. Oh, right. Eddie and I got married. This is the video announcing that. Yay! But I was watching Games Done Quick with my husband, and there was a Pokemon Crystal randomizer that was co-op that was happening with 360 Chris M and Shenanigans. Go follow them. They're awesome people. You probably already do. But I was like, you know what? Doing a co-op randomizer with my husband would be cool, but you want to know what would be even better? Doing a competition, because what shows you that you love your husband more than challenging him in a Nuzlocke that you've never done before? That sounds like a great idea, because we all know true love means domination, and I must dominate over him in this Pokemon Nuzlocke challenge. But I had also never done a Nuzlocke before, so I was like, I need to practice. Yes. So I watched two other creators to kind of get an idea of what I was getting into. Pokemon challenges and Jaden animations. Pokemon challenges because they have like so many good things to say about what to do in a Nuzlocke. And Jaden animations because we both have birds. It's fitting. So this video is basically my journey into doing a test run Nuzlocke. My first ever Nuzlocke ever, before Eddie and I challenge each other to do a Nuzlocke race on Twitch, which you can follow me at twitch.tv/Corina Boettger to watch that live later on when we actually plan it. So, a long, long time ago, in the land of 2001, yes, a time period can be a land now. Bet you didn't know that. In the land of 2001. When Pokemon Crystal was first released unto the land, I decided to do my own rough run because this is a race, and we picked the game Pokemon Crystal to Nuzlocke. Reason being was because Pokemon Crystal was what we were watching when they were doing the randomizer on Games Done Quick. And I haven't played a Gen 2 game in such a long time because I am an ancient eldritch horror. And I had completely forgotten everything, except for the fact that Cyndaquil is my favorite Pokemon starter. I know you think it would be Fennekin because Fennekin is a fox and foxes are my favorite animal, but it's based specifically on a Fennec fox, and I really don't like the evolutions that Fennekin turns into. I think they're kind of boring. My personal opinion, I'm sorry if it disagrees with you. You're allowed to think something different. Also, just look at Cyndaquil. He's such a cute little fire porcupine. And Typhlosion is a frickin' badass. Anyway, back to my rough run of a Pokemon Crystal Nuzlocke. But the universal rules are, 1. Once your character is given the ability to catch Pokemon, you are only allowed to catch one Pokemon per route/area. And it has to be the first Pokemon you encounter in the area. We will revisit this rule later. 2. If the Pokemon you first encounter dies or flees when trying to catch it, that is, you cannot catch another Pokemon in that area. 3. When your Pokemon dies, that's it. You can't use them again. 4. You have to nickname every single Pokemon you catch. And 5. If you are in a battle and you lose that battle, even if you have more Pokemon alive in your Pokebox, your run is over. There were a few extra rules that Eddie and I agreed upon for clarification, like you can only have your Pokemon be the same level as the highest leveled Pokemon the gym leader has, the Pokemon you are given are freebies, and you're allowed to get one Pokemon in the game corner and it has to be the cheapest one, which, since we're not playing a randomizer, is Abra. I will let you know when these house rules apply. Memorize those rules because there will be a test and I expect you all to ace it. So, I start my journey in a small town in Johto, name myself Cthulhu as an homage to the great lord himself, may he cause chaos. grab myself a Cyndaquil, name him, head out, grab an egg for Professor Elm, and oh my gosh! Look at this shifty person! I will defeat him with all my power! Oh. Welp. Shit. Oh, I'm gonna have to rename the video. Okay, Chris, editor, Chris, ignore that. It never happened. Nope, it didn't happen. We're just gonna... You'll edit this out, right? I trust you. So, I start my journey for the first time ever in a small town in Johto, name myself Cthulhu, grab my Cyndaquil, head out to grab an egg for Professor Elm. Meet this man for the first time, because this is definitely my first attempt at a Nuzlocke. Yep, and you can't prove it otherwise. And kick his butt, no problem, because I am such a good Nuzlocker, you guys. I'm like pro status. His name is Hastor, the name of the enemy of our great lord. Catch 2 Hoothoots, Bazaton, and Chagnar. By the way, if I mispronounce any of these eldritch horror names, oops. I'm trying, okay? I really like Cthulhu lore, but I'm not good with words even in English. So if I get any of these right, that's a miracle. Bazaton and Chagnar, and they come to my first major fuck up. Remember the rules in a Nuzlocke? Well, I missed the part where it said I was on a different route. The game usually tells you when you enter a new area, and the reason I missed it is because when you reach Route 31 for the first time, your freaking mom calls you, and the game doesn't tell you you're on a new route! So I killed the Bellsprout, not realizing. My mistake. Moving on, I caught Chuga in the dark cave and a unknown that I already forgot the name of when I was recording this, so you'll see it on the screen. At the ruins of Alf. God, I'm being a Lima in this run pretty hard. For those of you that don't know, I have 2 green cheek conures. Zulu is so smart. She picked up how to play basketball in 3 days when I was training her. And Lima, well, it's a miracle his brain reminds him to breathe. So, yeah. I reached the first gym to battle Falconer, the bird Pokemon gym leader, and... Oh my god, what? Okay, hold on. Just... It's fine. Here I am, doing my first Nuzlocke, as I have never attempted this before. Named myself Cthulhu. Clearly, the great old one was offended that I made his name cute. Grabbed Nyarlathotep, fight Hastor, and beat him. First try. Definitely was the first time that I did this. Catch Gatanathoa, Gloon, which is great because I could use him to beat Falconer, and Groth. Only for me to Lima again as Gloon dies. So much Limaing. Miss out on a Weedle and think, oh god, can I even get past the first gym leader? Which, of course I can! Why did I even doubt myself? And I did it first try because no one has proof of the other failures I did because my editor totally edited all that out, right, Chris? You did that? You definitely did that. I move on to the next challenge and catch my new friend Boettger, who shortly dies after because I wasn't paying attention. Got a fishing rod. Went back to the first town we went on our travels because that is technically a different area that I have not caught a Pokemon in, and I would love to start training a Magikarp. And I somehow got a Krabby, which I'm not mad at. That works. Catch my new friend Morik, get to Azalea Town, and on the way there got another friend who I named Gloon too, because it's the second one. Yup. The egg-hatched Nug caught Yeb in the bushes next to the entrance of Azalea Town, caught Shub in the forest, then went to take out Team Rocket in the Slowpoke well and caught Ehort on the way. Now, at this time, you will notice that I had 2 Zubats. At the time, I was fine with this because I could get 2 Crobats. And as the rule states, you only get the chance to catch the first Pokemon you encounter in that area. Again, we will revisit this. Now, I was on a Discord call with my editor at the time that a lot of this happened for, and he actually had the old guide back from 2001 for Crystal specifically. And he told me this. Great! I can go into the forest and train my Pokemon. Lies! My editor led me down a road of lies! Because after you beat Team Rocket in the Slowpoke well is when your rival fight will trigger as you go to the forest, regardless of if you beat the gym or not. But don't worry, because I met that challenge with confidence. I beat him, no issue, because I'm a pro and I'm so good at this, you guys. Like, I'm really good at Nuzlocking now. I beat Bugsy pretty easily. Like, I was honestly worried about, I know he had a Scyther, but it was fine. I freaked out because I forgot that this guy had a level 17 Growlithe. Caught myself another Boettger, only this time it was a Magikarp, and started preparing for what gave me the most fear. When I was a kid, Whitney was the hardest gym trainer I had ever faced. That milk tank was clearly a pool shark. A pool shark is someone who pretends to be bad at pool or seems like they are innocent and don't know how to play the game, when in reality, they're fucking terrifying. Usually in an attempt for you to let your guard down, only for you to get absolutely creamed by them. Milk Tank is this adorable cow with the heart of pure evil. It looks all cute and innocent, but this thing is out for blood! My personal headcanon is that the strange ox in Baldur's Gate 3, that was based off of Whitney's Milk Tank, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I trained my Pokemon to the maximum they could be, and with trepidation, I went to face the trainer that literally made me cry as a child, and I did it. I did it. I could not believe that I actually beat this monster without even having to sacrifice a single Pokemon. I had such a rough time beating Faulkner, which you still have no evidence that I died my first try because my editor deleted that footage and it isn't in this video. But somehow, I actually beat this absolute unit with no casualties. Oh, I was feeling so good and confident that I could actually do this. Only to lose, stupidly, a few minutes later because I wasn't paying attention again. ADHD is great! But I did finally realize why they call Sudowoodo after 20 years. I finally understood the pun.
Yeah, pseudo means, as in pseudo, P-S-U-E-D. Root word false. False wood. Fake wood. It just finally hit me, guys. I realized oh my goodness.
So that's a win. Caught him, named him Voltoom. Caught another Pidgey, because again, it was the first one I encountered. Remembered that Sprout Tower was a thing. Oops. Beat the Kimono Girls, fought my rival again, killed a Magnemite, which would have been nice because I didn't have any electric Pokemon, hatched another egg, and got Eevee from Bill. Morty was easy to deal with. To be kind of honest, I forgot he existed. At all. So, that was a thing. For some reason, even though I forgot Morty existed, I stupidly thought the Ruins of Alph were needed to be completed for the main storyline, and completed the puzzles only to be told by my editor, reading his guide, that you needed to catch all of the different variations of Unknown to unlock a font style for the old Game Boy printer. See, I was never cool enough to own one of those things as a kid, so pure Lima moment thinking that I had to come back here and waste my time. On my way to Cianwood, which I kept misreading as Cinnawood, yay dyslexia, we caught Dagon, Shud, Sumons, and Rogog. I then came to try to defeat Chuck, which I chucked him right out of the gym. Quiz time. What is the rule on how high-leveled your Pokemon can be? Well, if you're lemur-brained like me, then let me remind you that you can't have a Pokemon leveled higher than any of the gym leader's highest level Pokemon. Well, in Gen 2, the 7th gym leader's highest leveled Pokemon is lower than that of the 6th gym. And me being dyslexic and lemur-brained, I read the level wrong and accidentally leveled one of my Pokemon too high for the 7th gym. So, yeah. The dumbest thing about this is that I had even said, oh, I should be careful so that I don't level up my Pokemon too high. Because the 7th gym has that lower level. And in this gen, you can go to the 7th gym before you go to the 6th. So I even was like, don't forget to do that, Corina. Don't forget. And what did my Lima little brain do? Completely effing forgot. So I sat there in shame, realizing technically this run was also null and void. Yeah. But also, this is the practice to the real race. I am allowed to make mistakes on the practice. I'm not racing anyone now. Plus, the Pokemon Nuzlocke community, for the most part, and what I heard from Pokemon challenges, have all said something to the effect of, as long as you're having fun and you're not in a competition, you can change the rules to make the game fun for you. I did not want to restart after already having a good run for my first ever Nuzlocke, because I definitely didn't die at the first fight at Faulkner or anything, and again, you have no proof of that. Comment below to show me the proof of that. So I continued. We took care of Jasmine, and then I got a call saying that the radio tower in Goldenrod was taken over by Team Rocket or something, because apparently they're back now. Ooh. Which, these fights are all pretty easy, except for the one Rocket executive that has 6 coughing, all with self-destruct. But luckily, I one-shot all of them, so it wasn't a problem. It was when I encountered my 3rd Zubat that Eddie and I had a chat about some rule changes. We decided to implement from here on out in this run, and for our race later, that this would be more fun. If the first encounter was of an alive Pokemon that we already had, or in the same evolution line of an alive Pokemon we already have, that we would wait until we encountered a different Pokemon. If that Pokemon died, and then we run into a Pokemon of the same evolution line later that is our first encounter, we can then catch that one. I wish we made this rule after this cave, because seems like the only Pokemon in this cave are Zubats and Delibirds. I should have just been happy with the 3rd Zubat. Now, Claire was a bit of an issue to deal with, but luckily we did get through it with only close calls. She throws a hissy fit and says, "No badge, even though you beat me fair and square. You need to impress this old man that I haven't even impressed yet." Yeah, whatever, bitch, okay? I move on, grab my gang of fighting animals to face the Elite Four. I remember when I got my first Pokemon game. It was blue. I was obsessed. Of course I was. I'm autistic. I also had no idea that you should actually train more than one Pokemon. So the first time I ever went to the Elite Four, my Blastoise was the only leveled Pokemon, and I failed so hard. I don't even think my tiny autistic brain at the time could handle having to train more than one Pokemon. Stupid, I know. I also thought that if the move didn't do damage, it was useless. Aw, stupid eldritch baby horror, Corina. Doing this Nuzlocke, even as flawed as it is, I learned so much. Sand Attack is my new favorite move. Rage doesn't lock Pokemon into attacking anymore. Kingler is so much more power than I ever remembered. And I know what things I can skip now for the race so I don't waste my time. And it was time to finish it out with these final 5 battles. I actually got through the Elite Four with no major casualties. I still did dumb things, but at least everyone survived. And now for my final challenge, Lance. I had a plan, but I didn't know how well it would do. He is a dragon trainer, but then had a Charizard and an Aerodactyl on his team, and all of his Pokemon had Hyper Beam. Lucky for me, Hyper Beam has to have the Pokemon rest after they use it. Unlucky for me, I forgot that when Hyper Beam doesn't hit, the Pokemon doesn't have to rest the next turn. Oh, I was so dumb. Cathilia died. Next, Boettger, then Morik. I was so worried because those 2 water Pokemon were supposed to help me with the Charizard and Aerodactyl. Then Ewart went down. My poor Crobat! I only had Gloomtwo and Nyarlathotep left, one of whom had been with me from the beginning, the other close to it. And then I learned that although Aerodactyl is considered rock, he is still weak to rock. One thing that I've never understood about Pokemon is how the weaknesses work if Pokemon have 2 different types. Maybe my Lima brain is just too dumb to understand. Please leave comments to try and explain it to me. But I feel like sometimes when the Pokemon is 2 different types, it's not consistent. Like, for example, when a Pokemon is a type, it's not usually weak to the same type, which is why I thought Aerodactyl would not be weak to rock, as it is considered rock type, but it is also flying, and flying is weak to rock. Now, the thing that makes sense in my brain is that this would mean that it would have regular effectiveness. But nope, not with Pokemon. It is still super weak to rock, which saved my ass. After the sacrifice of my 4 Pokemon, I did it. I beat Lance. Was this run perfect? God, no. I made a lot of mistakes, including some that would cost me the race if I did them during the race. But also, the main point of this run was to practice and to learn, which I feel like I did. Now, to beat my husband! Thanks for watching, everybody. I try to stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Twitch, Pacific time. And I also want to thank my Patreon supporters for providing me with support to make this video. And if you would like to join my Patreon as well, the link is in the description. Thank you, everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Great, I'm done. Chris can edit that. Christopher, I'm putting all of the editing power in your hands. Your hands, your very good hands. I should do a Magikarp sound. Gorp, 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 gorp. I don't know when he's gonna use that.